Ja Morant's shocking actions exposed. Find out why the NBA hit him with a massive suspension.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant will.
And not only is the NBA reacting to this latest incident involving Morant, but tonight we're hearing from Grizz fans.
Many people are describing this relationship with Ja Morant as a roller coaster. And tonight things have hit a low point with a suspension looming.
To the NBA, you were a little winded down the stretch. That's to be expected. How did you cope with that?
From being hyped as the next face of the NBA to now possibly being a player his own team wants to move on from. Ja Morant's fall from grace is one of the biggest stories in basketball right now. Once unstoppable, he's now fighting just to keep his career on track, and it all happened fast. The big question is simple but heavy. Did the system fail him, or did he create his own downfall step by step? Back in 2022, Ja Morant was living the dream. At just 22 years old, he signed a $193 million deal with the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that had just finished second in the Western Conference and looked ready to take over the league. Ja wasn't just talented. He was pure electricity. Fans loved him. Brands rushed to sign him. The league called him the next global star. He became an all-star starter, one most improved player, and people even talked about him for MVP.
Since the reports that the Grizzlies were listening to trade offers for you, which they had been explicit in the past, they were not doing that. So what was your reaction to the news, and do you think that you will remain with the Grizzlies past the trade deadline?
You said what my reaction was?
Yes, sir.
Live with it.
The NBA clearly saw him as the next big star. But fast forward just 3 years, and things feel completely upside down. That same team is now reportedly taking trade calls, ready to move him before the deadline. A move that would have sounded crazy not long ago. What changed? Some say his game on the court isn't the same. Others blame constant off-court drama. From questionable choices to non-stop headlines, Ja Morant's reputation has taken a hit. Fans are left wondering, is he still the fearless leader they admired, or a star lost in his own spotlight? The big question now, is Ja another young star crushed by pressure and expectations, or did he waste a generational opportunity one decision at a time? Ja Morant's story didn't start flashy either. He began at Murray State, a school so unknown that most NBA fans couldn't even find it on a map. No hype, no spotlight, just basketball. Then 2019 changed everything. This underdog guard flipped the script, becoming the first player in NCAA history to average 20 points and 10 assists for a whole season. And he did it at a school hardly anyone was watching. That's when people realized Ja Morant wasn't just talented. He was something special that on June 20th, 2019, it became official. Ja Morant went second overall to the Memphis Grizzlies, right behind Zion Williamson. Zion got the headlines, but Ja was seen as the smart, steady choice, a floor general to build a franchise around. From day one, he showed Memphis made the right call. As a rookie, he averaged 17 points and 7 assists per game. Solid numbers, but stats didn't capture the full picture. Watching Ja play felt unreal. At 6 feet 3 inches, he moved like gravity didn't exist. He dunked on 7-footers like size didn't matter and blew past defenders who couldn't keep up. His first step looked impossible, like time slowed down for everyone else. Every night, he was a walking highlight reel. Clips went viral. Not just because he was good, but because he was spectacular, explosive, fearless, and confident in the loudest way possible. That same energy didn't just win games, it changed the entire Memphis franchise. Before Ja arrived, the Grizzlies were stuck in rebuild mode. No real playoff noise. The Marc Gasol and Mike Conley era was over, and Memphis barely mattered in league conversations. Then Ja showed up, and everything changed almost overnight. Memphis suddenly had swagger, confidence, edge. The city had a reason to cheer again because they weren't just watching games. They were watching a star being born upbeat. Why June 2020? It was official. Ja Morant was named Rookie of the Year, and nobody argued. He earned it with fearless drives, reckless dunks, and jaw-dropping moments that left fans and players stunned. The real shift came the next season, when the pressure turned up. May 21st, 2021, play-in tournament against Golden State. Win or go home. Ja played like he was made for chaos. He dropped 35 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and handed out 6 assists, dragging Memphis back into the playoffs after a 4-year drought. That wasn't just a win. It was a warning shot to the league. Then came the first-round matchup with the Utah Jazz, and Ja treated it like his personal stage. He averaged 30 points and 8 assists per game against one of the toughest defenses in basketball. In Game 2, he exploded for 47 points, breaking the Grizzlies' playoff scoring record at just 21 years old. That wasn't potential anymore. That was a rival to be why the 2021 to 2022 season, Ja's rise wasn't just impressive, it was undeniable. Memphis finished second in the Western Conference, and most of the roster wasn't even 25 yet. This wasn't a fluke team. This was a young squad with real bite. Ja became an all-star starter, won Most Improved Player, and earned a spot on the All-NBA second team. The Grizzlies weren't just relevant, they were dangerous. At only 22, he finished 7th in MVP voting. That wasn't hype, it was respect earned night after night. Memphis gave Ja something many young stars don't get: patience. He wasn't perfect at first. He missed shots, took risks, made plays that didn't always work. But instead of benching him, the coaches trusted him to learn on the job. That trust turned him into the team's heartbeat, the engine, the guy everyone followed. Then came July 6th, 2022, the moment that cemented it all. Memphis gave Ja a 5-year max deal worth $193 million, with incentives that could push it to $231 million. The kid from Murray State had officially become one of the faces of the NBA. The Grizzlies weren't rebuilding anymore. They were here to compete. The Grizzlies were reborn: swagger, identity, real power. Facing Memphis meant one thing: surviving Ja Morant's non-stop pressure. The future looked unstoppable. Talent, fame, money, fans, franchise support. It all lined up perfectly, but then came the twist nobody expected. Suddenly, the problem wasn't basketball anymore. The real trouble started when the spotlight followed Ja off the court. T first, nobody worried. Ja had always been flashy, emotional, loud, and bold. His celebrations were wild, his trash talk fearless. That edge felt real, it made him authentic. During the 2021 to 2022 season, that personality boosted his image. He wasn't just a player. He was a show, a brand, a movement, but what works inside an arena doesn't always translate outside it. That's when the line between confidence and controversy began to blur. The first red flags appeared in the summer of 2022. In July, a teenager accused Ja of striking him during a pickup game at his home. Ja shared a different story, saying he acted in self-defense after the teen allegedly threatened his family. Authorities reviewed the case, and no charges were filed. Even so, the story spread everywhere. Online, debates exploded. For the first time, people started questioning what was really happening behind Ja Morant's superstar image. A few months later, another incident hit the headlines, this time at a shopping mall. Reports said it started after Ja's mother had an argument with a mall employee. Ja reportedly arrived with others, and things got tense with mall security. Some witnesses claimed he said something like, "I'll know when your shift ends." Again, no charges were filed. But this time, the damage was different. His name was now in headlines that no athlete wants. Fans and media began asking tougher questions, and the narrative around Ja started to shift. People began asking, was Ja really in control, or was the circle around him pulling him off track? Then came the night that changed everything. March 4th, 2023. The Grizzlies had just lost to Denver, and a few hours later, around 5:19 a.m., Ja went live on Instagram from inside a strip club. Loud music, flashing lights, bottles everywhere. It seemed like a typical off night for a young star, until the moment that flipped the narrative. Ja briefly held what appeared to be a firearm on camera. The live ended almost instantly, and the account disappeared soon after, but it didn't matter. The clip was everywhere within minutes. This time, it wasn't rumors or speculation. It was clear on video. The internet exploded, and for the first time, it felt like Ja's biggest opponent wasn't on the court. It was his own decision-making off it. Just 2 days later, Ja made a surprising move. He announced he was stepping away from the team to focus on his stress and well-being. At first, it sounded like accountability, but on March 14, 2023, the NBA stepped in. The league handed Ja an 8-game suspension without pay, costing him roughly $700,000 of his $12 million salary. Adam Silver didn't hold back, publicly calling Ja's actions irresponsible and potentially dangerous, making it clear the league wasn't taking it lightly. Soon after, Ja released a statement saying he didn't support violence and was taking full responsibility. For a moment, it seemed like a real turning point, like he finally understood what was at stake. Then, just 2 months later, everything collapsed again. On May 13, 2023, another video surfaced, another Instagram live, another firearm, another wave of chaos. This time, the clip came from a friend's account, showing Ja inside a car in Memphis, rapping along to music and flashing a weapon. The stream ended quickly, but the damage was done. The clip spread across social media in seconds. What made this worse wasn't just the act itself, it was the timing. This wasn't early career confusion anymore. This happened after the suspension, after league meetings, after public apologies where Ja said he understood the seriousness of his actions. Yet, just weeks later, the same mistake happened again. The next morning, Memphis suspended Ja from all team activities, and the NBA launched another investigation immediately. Fans were stunned. Analysts were frustrated. Even other players couldn't believe he repeated behavior that nearly wrecked his career the first time. Then, on June 16, 2023, the league handed down the final verdict. Ja Morant was suspended for 25 games to start the 2023 to 2024 season drop. Your thoughts in the comments. And if you're still rooting for redemption. Stories, make sure to like and subscribe to Ball Stories because we break down the real stories behind basketball's biggest rises and falls. Stay tuned for the next deep dive. It's going to be wild. See you in the next one.